In a large and ancient forest lived a small gray-blue bird. He was not strong or fast, and he did not have a beautiful singing voice. In fact, he did not know how to sing like the other birds, who filled the morning air with clear and confident melodies. Every day when the sun rose, the forest became alive with music. Yet the little bird always felt as if he did not truly belong to it. He tried many times to sing like the others. He would perch on a branch, take a careful breath, and open his beak, hoping that something pleasant would come out. Instead, his sounds were uneven, uncertain, and often awkward. Some birds laughed softly, others simply looked away, not wanting to hurt him, but not knowing how to react. After a while, he stopped trying to sing in front of them, choosing silence instead of embarrassment. So the little bird began to listen. While the other birds focused on performing their songs, he paid attention to the world around him. He listened to the wind as it passed through the leaves, the river as it moved across stones, the slow creaking of tree trunks, and the steady buzzing of insects. He noticed that the forest was never truly quiet. Even in still moments, there was always a hidden rhythm moving through everything, waiting to be noticed. Slowly, he began to recognize patterns in those sounds. The water had a steady beat. The wind rose and fell. The animals spoke in different tones. Without realizing it, his mind started to connect all of them, as if the entire forest were part of one large, living song that never stopped playing. One quiet night, when the air felt calm and open, the little bird did not try to copy any other voice. He simply let out the sounds he had been collecting inside. His song followed the river, then the wind, then the gentle movement of the leaves. It was not a normal bird song, but it felt natural and honest. Nearby animals stopped and listened, not because it was loud, but because it felt familiar, as if it belonged to the forest itself. From that day on, the animals began to admire the way the little bird interpreted the sounds of the forest. In his voice, they could hear their own footsteps, their own breathing, their own presence. When he sang, the forest felt calmer and more connected, as if every living thing was gently reminded that it was part of something larger. One day, while flying over the lake at the edge of his home, the little bird noticed another forest on the far side. Curious and excited, he crossed the water. When he arrived, he realized that everything sounded different. The trees were shaped differently, the air was heavier, and the birds spoke in unfamiliar tones. Yet it was still beautiful, simply in a new and unexpected way. That was when he understood that every forest had its own sound. So he kept traveling. He visited many forests in many places. Some were full of soft, gentle melodies that made him feel peaceful. Others were wild and powerful, filled with strong winds and restless voices. He even found forests damaged by human deforestation, where the sounds were slow and sad, yet still full of meaning. Even those places had music, shaped by loss and memory, quietly telling their stories. Over time, the little bird learned not only sounds, but emotions. He learned how joy, fear, hope, and sadness could all exist inside a single song. Eventually, he returned to his home forest. He was no longer the uncertain bird he once was, but a wiser one, carrying the echoes of many lands inside his voice. During his long journey, he had come to understand something important. It was not only him that the world listened to, but the forests themselves. Wherever a forest found its true voice, the world seemed to respond. He had seen it again and again. In places where the forests sang freely, rains arrived regularly and at the right seasons. There were no long, destructive droughts. The roots of the trees grew stronger and deeper, holding the land together. Rivers and lakes never completely dried because the earth knew how to keep its water.
Birds could fly higher, carried by healthy winds, and fireflies shone brighter in the night, filling the dark with gentle light. When the little bird gathered his friends, he told them everything he had learned. He explained that his own voice was only part of something much larger. The true power came when the entire forest sang together, when trees, water, animals, and wind all became part of one living music that never stopped playing. That music traveled far beyond their home. It moved through the sky, across the clouds, and into the wider world. And the world listened to it, answering with rain, fertile soil, and steady winds that kept life in balance. That is why he told them that if they continued to sing together and allowed their forest to speak with its true voice, their home would not only survive, but flourish for centuries. And from that day on, the forest was never silent again. Its song rose into the sky, and the world replied with water, light, and a land full of life.